Hello, welcome to the first week off for the Rangers Rabble, day one, and we're doing two pods today. Obviously, the news that Rangers have indeed parted ways with Giovanni van Bronckhorst. So we're going to just do a quick reaction here, and then we're actually going to have the phone in back on tonight, so you guys can all come back at 8 and have your say as well. Joined by Ross and Kerr. How are we doing, boys? Happy with the news?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
They both are.
Good stuff. I mean, we'll jump straight. It's going to be a really short one today. Let's say a couple of us are working, but we'll just jump straight in then, Kerr. Feels maybe a long time coming now, but I mean, just maybe a bit of relief that it's finally happened.
It's been a long time coming. It should have happened a while back, but to me, Stuart, the tooth has been extracted, but the abscess is still there. Ross Wilson's still there. There's no point in taking Gio and leaving Wilson. It's pointless because he's going to appoint a new guy again, and the last appointment didn't work. So I don't know. I just feel some of the players have need refreshed, and also we need to look at the full setup. But I'm glad he's gone. Gio, he is a nice guy, but too nice for a manager, in my opinion.
Yeah, Ross. I think a lot of people have said that. It's certainly how I felt that. I didn't want to hate Gio. It was getting a bit like that towards the end, but he does seem like a very nice player. But I think certainly in football, sort of nice guys finish last. What do you think about Kerr then saying, Gio's sort of, I guess, one cog in the wheel that's broken at the moment. It doesn't really go too far if Ross Wilson's picking the next manager as well.
I've said time and time again on here, Stu, Ross Wilson's first big test was when Gerrard left us in the lurch in order to keep the footballing operations running smoothly. And what he did was took out FIFA 21 and stuck in FIFA 97 rather than FIFA 2022. Took us back years. So, listen, can I just say, by the way, Kerr, that was an absolutely outstanding way of describing it. The abscess and the tooth. What a guy, man, honestly. For me, Wilson, I don't trust Wilson to pick a new manager. And also, if Wilson's still there, does it hamper the calibre of manager we can get? Because essentially we are looking for somebody who's going to sit under him in the three.
Yeah. I'm just having a quick look at the odds then, Kerr. I mean, it's very hard right now because I think in terms of bookies putting up odds, it's maybe a bit unexpected because it almost seemed like the board had backed him going into this winter break. Yeah. So I don't think many people actually thought this was going to happen. So we've got Sean Dyche as the current favourite, 4-1. Mick Beale 6-1. Kevin Muscat 8-1. He's been talked up a lot. He's obviously taken over from Postecoglou in Japan. He won the league there, but I don't know if it'd almost feel like appointing his apprentice, wouldn't it? Then you got Hassan Huttle at 8-1, the former Southampton manager. Gerrard 9-1 to return. Then you've got, it gets a bit crazy after that. You've got people like Tedesco, Gattuso, Knutson, Martindale, Dean Smith, John Terry, Russell Martin. Is there anyone that you think would be, just before I go into it? John, thank you very much for the super chat. Some of us seem shaken now that he's gone. Yeah, absolutely. Actually, I'll get you to answer that one, Kerr, then I'll go back to Ross with the odds. It seems really surreal, doesn't it? I just didn't see this coming at all.
None of us did, because I all expected it to happen sooner, but the longer it dragged on, we thought we're just going to keep him until the end of the season, let the season play out. But I don't know if Gio maybe forced a hand and say, listen, I'm not happy. He didn't look happy, to be honest with you. He didn't. I know he said he was, but he didn't look happy to me. So I don't know, maybe if he's come back and said, I'll go for this much, and maybe just said, that's fine, we'll cut our losses, and here's your payoff, and on you go. Because the last few games he played, sitting in a dugout, he looked lost. He looked like he didn't want to be there. He wasn't the only one. Some of the players do as well. So, I mean, good luck to him wherever he goes, but to me, it needed to happen sooner. But it's happened, so I just hope it's not too late.
Yeah, Ross, just getting a few people saying who they like. I mean, Duncan Ferguson is 25-1. Mark saying Muscat for him. I see a few people say Russell Martin. I saw this sort of mooted a few months ago as well, and I was looking up around that time some Swansea forums, and they're not actually that happy with him. I think he's one of those managers, a bit like Gio. I looked at his stats and everything else that comes with it, and it looked like a really good appointment, but maybe not. But who knows? But yeah, I mean, is there anyone from that initial list, Ross, that sort of excites you going forward?
Mate, I think we are in a time when people saying we can't take Muscat because he was Ange Postecoglou's assistant before. And to me, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He's won leagues. He's gone in all different markets. He knows the club. He's an ex-Rangers player. We've also, mate, there's a couple of names for me, Stu. I think something's happened in the background, and somebody's become available or told us that they're interested, which has forced the board's hand to sack Gio this morning out the blue. I think something's happened in the background. Maybe Beale's announced to the club through his agent or whatever that he is available, or maybe with the World Cup on, maybe Muscat or somebody like that has been approached and said they would like a go at it, but only if it happens now. I don't know. It's just my thinking of it, because I'm the same as you. I thought that the club were going to keep Gio till the end of the season. We went on record as saying that. So what's changed, I don't know. Because if you were going to sack him, you'd have sacked him a week ago after the last game, and then that would have gave you a week to be looking for somebody else. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I was literally about to bring the exact point to Care. I don't think it makes sense at this point to go and get a temporary manager, because we've got this sort of block, this month block now, to almost get a new pre-season in some of the players with a new manager. So it could very well be what Ross said. Someone's become available. It could also be the recent deals on the Rangers store. You know, maybe sales have been low, because as soon as Gio's been sacked, I've got a 50% offer for the away kit. So they have not missed a chance to get that out. But yeah, I mean, what do you think there, because sometimes halfway through the season, if the right guy isn't available, clubs do go with an interim to the end of the season. But I just feel like this is such a good opportunity to get a permanent manager in, you know, with a little block to work on stuff.
The only thing with a permanent manager for me is we'll have to pay for him. I don't know if this club will pay out money to bring somebody in from another club. I don't know if they're willing to do that, or if they say they've not got any money. Where's it coming from then? Because I don't know about you two. I know Michael Beale's getting mentioned by 99.9% of our fan base. I just feel it's not Michael Beale's time. I don't know about you two. I could be totally wrong, but I just feel
I agree.
It's not his time. I just feel he needs another a season or two somebody else before he comes to Rangers. But I could be totally wrong. But I don't know. I kind of agree with Ross as well. Like I said earlier, I don't know if Gio's maybe called it or something's happened, because we know that stuff is in Sky Sports saying they were happy. He put out a wee documentary thing about his first year at Rangers, and then this suddenly happened. So something's happened. Maybe he's went back to Holland and his family's told him, You're as well away for there, and he said probably am. I don't know. I just don't know. But it's happened. It should have happened earlier, but it's happened now. But I don't know if it might bring in a temp Stuart till the end of the season if the right man's not available. I mean, personally, I still think they'll go for somebody that's not in a job. I think that's the way they'll go. Because I don't see them spending money.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I think just on that point there, it's I don't know. It's so tough to say. I think with Beale, we all got a bit blindsided by how well he started, and he's on a shoestring budget really at QPR. He's not getting to spend what other Championship clubs getting to spend. Started off really well. Form's dipped a little bit lately. I think my fear with Beale more than anything, Ross, is things had gotten a bit stale towards the end of, and obviously that was Gerrard in charge, not Beale, but things have gotten a bit stale. It's very similar players. You know, could he come back in and motivate them again? And it's a big change. You know, what's he had, like 20 games at QPR, and then he's going to come straight out of that into a brand new job, much bigger job, even though he knows it. I don't know. It just maybe I think Kerr's right there. It's just not his time.
I think if it's not his time now, it'll never be his time at Rangers, because I think we'll be priced out of him. I think his next team will be in the Premier League down in England. I know he's going through a wee bad spell at the moment, but as you say, he's on a shoestring budget, and he's got QPR really challenging. To put it into perspective, one of his best signings has been Leon Balogun, who we said wasn't good enough for us. To put it into perspective, the job he's got on his hands down there, that's one of his best signings. If Mick Beale was sitting at the top of the marble staircase signing a contract next week, I would be quite happy. I'm not buying into it's now or never for Mick Beale for me, as I say, because I think he will be out of our price range within the next couple of years. That's my thinking on that one.
You know, thinking out of our price range now, but QPR is going to demand money for him just now. Will we pay that just now for somebody we had?
Well, Kerr, I don't know, because I didn't think our board would have paid to sit Van Bronckhorst mid-season. So
that's how I think he's agreed a lower package just to get away.
Aye. I don't know. I don't know what QPR would ask for him. I don't know, has he got a clause in his QPR deal that says if X club comes knocking, I'll be able to talk to them? You don't know the ins and outs of the guy's deal.
He worked under Ross Wilson, so obviously he knows what it's like as well. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if he would put up with that. I don't know.
Mate, I've said on here before, mate, I'm one of the people who would back Gerrard coming back after lessons being learned. In the case of, no, when I come back this time, I'm in charge of this, I'm in charge of that, you're in charge of that. And the fact that he now knows that the grass isn't greener. I think that Gerrard jumped at his first chance at English Premier League football, and some Rangers fans will never forgive him for that. But for me, if we went and got him, the style of play, the fitness of the players and all that was all much better under him and his backroom team. I know that a lot of folk will tell you that Mick Beale was the brains behind the tactics and stuff, but mate, at this moment in time, I would take you and Stu, because what we had was brutal, do you know what I mean? What we've been watching for the last half season has been brutal.
Yeah, whoever comes in, but we've still got the same players who chucked Gerrard some of his games and some of Gio's games under the bus, because these guys, some of these guys are either finished, no interested, or want away. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the only thing with Gerrard and or Beale, I just think it would be seen as a very lazy appointment from Ross Wilson. I think, like you say, if Ross Wilson is going to be the guy that's recruiting this guy, if he then goes back for a Gerrard or a Beale, it's what lessons have really been learned from him. Katic Loyal, thank you very, very much. £4.49 super chat. Hope the new guys take no prisoners and has no loyalty to players who don't perform. I mean, I won't get too excited about any manager just yet, because I was fully aboard Gio coming in, to be honest, and I really wanted Gio. I thought he was going to be a really good appointment, and couldn't have been further from the truth, out with obviously the European run. I'm
just hoping, Stuart, that's not the full list of managers, because it
won't be. No,
it's not being researched properly if it is, because
it'll just be the same list that goes around all the time.
We shouldn't just be appointing somebody for the sake of appointing somebody. We don't need somebody in at this moment in time. As in, I don't mean like wait a long time, but get a few days and actually go and approach some guys that you think could do a job. Don't just appoint somebody because of a name or because they worked with Ross Wilson. Actually look at it, because this is a very important appointment. This can make I think the league's over, right? And personally, but you never know if appointing the right manager. It could give the players that spur, and it could turn the second half of the season into something we hope we can see. But I don't know. I just feel the board need to look at this carefully, and so does Ross Wilson, because if he's still there, which I think he's going to be, then this is a big appointment. It can't be left field. It has to be done properly, and it has to be on a 1 year rolling contract as well, not on 3-4 year contracts.
Yeah, I mean that's the difficult part, isn't it? Getting someone to agree to that. That's the only thing. But just on Katic Law's point, Ross, I mean that's I think all we really can ask for is someone that is going to be, have his own style, his own philosophy, and for me the big thing is why I'm pretty much on the Knutson board from. But I know he said recently he's not interested in leaving. But I think he has like an ex-military guy, does all the fitness and stuff like that. So I'd be like fully aboard that. But just someone that is going to have his own style no matter what, and as long as we can see improvement week in, week out, I think the fans will be pretty happy, at least for this season.
think you've got to look at performances. And for me, Van Bronckhorst never had the balls to drop players who deserve to be dropped, so he never had that respect. Ryan Kent knew he was going through the motions, but he was going to play the next game and the next game and the next game and the next game. Tav, we sold. Everybody saw that Tav had to play every game, no matter what kind of form he was on. So I would like a manager in as well who's going to do the fundamentals. If you're playing well and training well, you keep your place. If you're not playing well, then there's somebody else banging down the door in order to get that position off you. And I don't feel as if we are there. Whether that's due to squad depth or whether it's due to the fact that we're still hoping and praying that Kent's going to turn up one day and be the Kent of old. So a manager, the minimum I want for a new manager is somebody who's going to demand that the players are fit and ready for every game, because I don't feel as if we're fit and ready.
Yeah, no, 100%. And yeah, just final few points in care. I mean, is there anything you're really looking for in a manager, or you just don't really know? This, I say, like for me, it's this fitness thing. I think I didn't realise how much fitness really mattered in football. I think I sort of took it for granted when we had it under Gerrard and Beale, and everything there. Just guys that, even a manager that just brings in backroom staff to focus on specific areas. You know, I thought Roy Mackay was going to be a really good appointment, but he just seemed to be there for the general coaching. Whereas you know, under Gerrard, we seem to actually have a fitness coach. We had a set piece coach, and just someone that I guess I just want someone that knows exactly what he wants from a team.
I just want to appoint a forward-thinking manager with a good backroom stuff. That's what we're looking for. Somebody we can look at and say we're building something here. It doesn't have to be imminent, as in we have to build it straight away. But if you know something's poking in place and next season we're giving everything a go, then I'll be happy with that. But we kind of keep making sure the appointments, and then every year, 18 months, we're back in this position.
Yeah, and Freddie hitting the nail on the head there. Fitness took us through a pretty sure it did. I think the players were able to raise a bit more of a level as well, just through Ibrox, to be honest. Let's see if we've got anything else coming in. Ange didn't bring any backroom staff to them. No, that's very true. Very true. So, wow, I mean, he's since brought in Harry Kill, wasn't he? But I think he pretty much worked with what he had there. So, yeah, you don't necessarily have to bring your backroom staff in. That is true. But, yeah, I mean, for me, it's, you know, it's fun to do the speculation and think, oh, who are we going to get? But after the Gio one, I've sort of, had my hands burnt a little bit. So I'm just sort of, you never know, Rangers, do you? They do something good and they'll probably do something 10 times worse in their next decision. But we will leave it there. So it was only a quick, short one just to get the initial reaction from the guys. A few people have still coming in with a couple of suggestions. I've seen like Alex Ray be mentioned. Combined team of Kevin Thompson and Neil McCann. I love the way Neil McCann talks. Love the way Kevin Thompson talks, to be honest. But I always hark back to that sort of Gary Neville. I always thought Gary Neville spoke really well, and then he went and had a horrendous time at Valencia. So, shot Raveladze as well. Yeah, he did okay with Hull, so you never know. This is the last point. Then I'll take this to you, Ross. I would actually be quite happy if it's not an ex-player or not someone that's had anything to do with Rangers.
I think as I've said before, is we're a club that loves a bit of sentimentality, and sometimes to the detriment of the club, because rather than make the big decisions, it's like, oh, but he was a club legend. We don't want to do that to him, or I give him another year because at the end of the day, he's been a great servant to the club. All that pish. So, but to be honest, see if, obviously this is never going to happen, but see if Mikel Arteta get sacked by Arsenal tomorrow, you tell me you wouldn't take him because he's an ex-player.
Oh yeah, I think there is a few exceptions. Yeah.
You tell it, listen, I want the best guy for the job. See if it is Gattuso. See if they think Gattuso's the best guy for the job. See if they think fucking Kevin Muscat's the best guy for the job. I don't care that he's an ex-player. I just want the best manager, and preferably one who's going to make sure we make use of the players we've got. Here you go. There's Lee. How's he on?
It's
Too
Skyver,
cold.
mate. Always does. It's too cold. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Ross Wilson. I think that's the main thing. Ross Wilson needs to go as well. It's the problem, isn't it, Kay? You cut the head off, and I think with Ross Wilson it just grows 3 more. I don't know. It's not going to go too far without him, but he could redeem a lot if he does get the next appointment right. But I'm going to save that conversation so everyone can have their say tonight on the phone in. So please come back at 8 p.m. We're going to have the as I say, we were going to have a week off. But how can you have a week off when this news happens? Martin promised Lee a week off, so he's taking his week off apparently. So yeah, we're going to have the.
As Leno took about the last 6 months off, I feel as if I've had it. What's sake?
Yeah, so we will be back tonight with the phone in at 8 p.m. And I believe, as long as everything is going to go, and it's, I was hoping it was. This is actually mean it's going to probably be a lot more positive, but we're hoping to have some sort of quiz or something like that on Sunday probably for members only. But I'll speak to Martin and see how he wants to do it. But it'll be a fun little quiz we'll do on Sunday evening. But tonight you can come back at 8 and you can have your say on the phone in. I'm sure Martin is going to be hosting because he's the man with the plan with the phones. So hopefully it will be Martin on. But yeah, please come back, have your say on the phone in tonight, and we'll see you then. Thanks very much for joining us. Cheers.